Hello, everybody. My name is Lisa Richmond. Thanks for tuning in. I'm very happy to have you back. I'm happy to be back. And if this is your first time viewing, welcome. And if not, if you've been here before, welcome back. Yeah, so all the same kind of rigmarole. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Share this if it resonates. I love to see you. Drop a comment. Honestly, if you have any questions or you want to look into anything, or if there's something that comes up or anything, just drop it in the comments. And I really try to get back to everybody and touch on any questions that people have. But here's the thing. So I was really sitting with my spirit guides this past week, and it has been a week for sure. It has had its ups and downs for sure. But before I get into that, I really ask Spirit to guide me and my guides to guide me in the way that best serves. How can I best serve humanity? How can I best serve for the greater good? And I know that there's a lot of people out there asking these same questions. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? What can I do to allow myself to step forward, not only for the greater good, but also so that I feel like I'm legitimately maybe making a difference? Like we can keep going through our lives and kind of do the same thing over and over. And although they might be very important things, lately the energy, especially in this last week, has been like, is there more? What am I doing? What am I doing? It's almost that existential crisis. And then you throw that into light worker and you throw that into healers and you throw that into like the mix of this kind of new paradigm in which we're walking into. And what you come up with is a sense of I need to do more, or I need to do something that is going to allow me to feel like I'm doing something. Because we can pick up and we can go do the mundane things and that gets things done. But unless what we're doing has the why or the backup of purpose and meaningful purpose, it kind of lacks that extra oomph. And it's that extra oomph that we're all looking for, but we don't want it to be meaningless. We want it to actually make a difference. We want it to be like, how can this contribute to our greater good? So, big roundabout circle. This is what I'm here to talk about. So I asked Spirit, please help having this existential crisis. And Spirit's like, talk about that. First of all, talk about that. So I want to just talk about like kind of an understanding that I came to with a very good spiritual friend and mentor, Jeanette Biro, who works alongside at Avalon Spirit with me. Anyway, we were having this amazing conversation the other day, and we were talking about like this exact thing. How come we're feeling this kind of bottom out sensation after last weekend when we were like all jacked because Pluto's moving into Aquarius and leaving Capricorn, and we're like, it's going conjunct with the sun. And then all of a sudden, what does this mean? And I'm a cardinal sign, and I'm like, yeah, 15 years of whatever. I'm moving out of it. Now I'm moving into purpose, and I'm bringing in abundance. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, 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 like hit the skids. That's how it felt for me. So what we realized is with such a huge shift and such a huge upgrade and moving into this time of enlightenment, essentially, is it comes with a period and an adjustment period, and how Spirit showed it to me. And it's not the first time that I've seen this. And I mean, you're probably going to hear this and feel like, yeah, I've heard that a million times, but it really hit me because while living here on Earth and being in this like, well, kind of paradigm shift between third dimension and fifth dimension, depends on where you're kind of hanging out, probably both. We have to. It is a universal law. While being here in this frequency is being able to adapt, experience, and transcend polarities. Where there comes darkness, there's lightness. Where there's yin, there's yang. Where there's masculine, there's feminine. We have those polarities. We must have those polarities on this earth plane because it is part of our universal law. Okay. So you go into like the quantum physics of this, and you could break it down. I'm not going to do that here, but that is a part of our universal law, is that here on earth, we have those polarities. And so while we're moving into this more of enlightenment, or we're moving up in a frequency, we're moving higher into a frequency, that higher level frequency dynamic, especially with these big planetary realignments, I should say, in death and rebirth, the space in between is like a holding cell. And essentially that's where we're in. And if we are, which we are becoming more and more enlightened, and we are moving into this new kind of paradigm in Aquarius, and we're about to move into this much more feminine vibration, moving into the more fifth dimensional frequency, we cannot, it doesn't matter who you are, we cannot experience that enlightenment or that light without experiencing the shadow of it first. Where the greatest, light casts the biggest shadow. Okay, this is a universal law. And so what my guides wanted me to understand is that basically from like the 20th to February 11th, and they were really specific about this, February 11th, which is Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, for all of you football fans out there, because I know there's just thousands of you. I'm not either. I don't know why. Anyway, that is when we shift out of the shadow through this planetary adjustment. So while we're in this kind of holding phase, they asked me to say and express to everybody that with this comes great knowledge, it comes preparation, and you can actually come in and prepare yourself spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally, everything for this kind of awakening, or for like the sun to come up. So it's almost like we're nighttime, right? Like when we're told, yeah, Christmas morning is coming up, but have a good sleep. And everyone's like, oh, I don't want to sleep, kind of thing. That's kind of how it feels. It's like, we don't want to be asleep. We don't want to be in the dark, but we're in this holding cell. And with it comes this kind of like lower vibrational frequency that we're kind of put in. And it was almost like we got put into this timeline that is holding us in the frequency in order for that shift to happen and the sun to come out. Okay. And so that is the very most simple way I can explain it, but just understand a couple of things. Number one, it's not just you. You're not going crazy. You're not completely useless. And it's not that you have zero purpose in this life. You have enormous purpose, especially if you're feeling this so much. You do. You're here for a reason. You chose to be here during this amazing enlightenment time. So just like hold yourself and give yourself just some time to rest, some time to restore. And I have to say, less is more. So you're probably going to want to come out and say all the things to all the people. And I just want to err on the side of caution in doing that, because after the 11th, you might look back and be like, about that conversation, I meant it, but not really to that extent. And that might not be the full extent of what I wanted to say, which is fine. So really, like, maybe instead of saying all the things, like, write all the things down for yourself, or have the quiet conversations, call somebody's higher self to you and have that conversation with them. So the conversation is still had. You're still preparing to be able to walk into this kind of more enlightened stage when the sun comes out on the 11th of February, which is very specific, but it's the date. And just give yourself some space, give yourself some time, and allow yourself to just kind of process through this, okay? So I know everyone was really excited, and we're like dancing into, Aquarius, and we're like, yes. But, and I'm doing this on full moon. I'm doing this on full moon in Leo, which is helping to illuminate the energies of our authenticity, okay? So that's the kind of kicker that I wanted to bring in with it, is with full moon here today, we are experiencing this higher level understanding of our authentic selves, of our truest authenticity. And so we are being kind of held in this holding cell looking at ourselves with a microscope in front of the mirror, looking at every little bit of ourselves. So here's your opportunity to really dive in, look at ourselves and say, hey, I got you. Like, we're about to like do some crazy things out there. We're about to ascend. We're about to make some amazing connections. We're about to co-create. We're about to like make our dreams come true. We're about to be financially super abundant. We're about to bring in the most meaningful relationships. So I got you. Just know that you're not alone. You don't need to be scared. It's okay to have all the feelings, but I got you. Okay. That's what this energy is like helps us to, versus what we could do, which would be to take, you know, this magnifying glass and this that is our full moon right now, see our authentic selves in front of us and say, what do you do? Who do you think you are? You know, you think you have all these big ideas and rada, self-doubt, old paradigm, like beliefs, limiting beliefs, you know, all the stuff. And even me saying that out loud makes me feel yucky but I used to do that all the time. I for sure used to do that. And in this past week, I for sure did that. But it's so not authentically who we are. Those are like old stories. And even though they might have been comfortable before, even when I like use that example, it feels so off and yucky. So Kate, so this is a huge, big video to break down the messages of, number one, we are in ascension, even though it doesn't feel like it. This is our time to come in and just kind of iron out any kinks that we have still with ourselves, meaning limiting beliefs, old paradigms, any outdated relationships or contracts that we might have. And it's like, this is our time to be able to really sit with ourselves, call our best selves forward. We got that full moon to illuminate that for us while we're in this holding cell. And then when February comes, trust me, it's like, we're going to sail. But how far we sail is dependent on this time. So give yourself a break. Allow yourself to know that you can give yourself space to just be you, and extra love, you know, extra time of rest. Take it easy. Do all the like self-care things, and then have that conversation with anybody that you need to have without actually having it with them. Try doing it with their higher self first, and then move on from there. So this is a really big message. I hope that it came through in a way that's easily understandable. And I just want everybody to know that I have so much love and compassion for this time and the light workers and all humanity right now, because we are going through it, but it's for a purpose. So hold on to your hats. I'm sending you tons and tons of love, and then kick off on February 11th. Okay? So I'll come back. We'll talk about it after. We'll roll through this together. Happy full moon in Leo. Take a second to just really illuminate yourself. Give yourself some like accolades for getting here. And like so much love and compassion I send to all of you. So until the next time, have a good couple weeks. Okay? I'll come back next week and we'll pan through exactly what went on, but just use this as a tool, and I promise you it's going to get easier. Okay. So that's my message from my guides and for me, from my heart, and for the greater good of humanity. So I love you all very, very much, and we will see you soon.